And we will also dedicate today's learning to the ultimate Melech of Yisrael, David Melech Yisrael, whose Yortzeit is Shavuot. So, today, how can we for a half an hour speak about melding, blending, and integrating with the ultimate sphere of melding, blending, and integrating Malchus? The Chachamim tell us in the Zohar, in the Gemara, I've heard it from Rebbes of mine. There's a Gemara in Brachos that says that whereas the other kings of the world get up late and are taken care of, David HaMelech used to get up early in the morning, and women would bring to him their bedika cloths to see if they were ksherot or not. The whole essence of David HaMelech is, how can I serve the lowest maidservant of Israel? Because ultimately, the essence of being a king is learning how to meld, blend, integrate, and nullify oneself. It's so interesting how we left Mitzrayim, and everything that was given to us was without us really earning or deserving anything. We were given chesed, love. It's interesting that in the Zohar, in Aramaic, when we talk about the idea of chesed, the term is rechinoi. Rechinoi means love, because chesed means love. It was just the love that a parent has, that a mother has specifically for her small child. And as the baby grew up a little bit more, going through the midbar, he learned structure. That's Gevurah. And when he was ready, he was able to start learning Torah. Torah is Tiferet. Then we started to learn about how to build oneself up, how if one is going to be growing, not just a student, but one is going to assert themselves, they need Netzach. Netzach is the power to keep going and further, and knowing that we are connected to eternity. We're connected to Hashem, the Torah, and Klal Yisrael. We are an eternal triangle that never ends. That's Netzach. But we also have to know that along with that, we need to refine ourselves. We need to be able to make it so that as we are growing and giving, we're also glorious to those that look upon us, and that's Hod. And as we get closer and closer to giving the Torah, think about all that we've spoken about, how it's all about self-empowerment. We're empowering ourselves more and more, starting from a helpless baby who looks into his mother's eyes and knows only the goodness that he's given. And all of a sudden, we suddenly realize that we are building a future. We're building a foundation. We're building a yesod. And the yesod is giving the potential for creativity and putting it into a framework of holiness. All of these things are more and more and more and more about empowering us, what we can do. And then all of a sudden, we come to Malchus. You know where the greatest expression of Malchus is articulated? In Mishlei. In the end of Mishlei, Shlomo HaMelech starts to say, Eishes chayil mi yimetzo v'rochak minini michro. That who can find an Eishes chayil? She's more precious than gems. And in the end, he concludes, Rabbi's banus asu chayil v'yatalis al kilano. That many, many daughters have achieved valor, greatness, achievement, but you're way above them. Question. Who are these Rabos Banus? Who are these achieving women? What can we learn about them? What do they have to do with Malchus? I'll tell you the answer. The Eishes Chayil is the Shekhinah. When we sing Eishes Chayil to our wives Friday nights, we have in mind the divine presence of Hashem. And the human form of the divine presence is our wives. Why? Because the essence of a Jewish woman is to be completely unselfish. Where have we heard that before when I started speaking 5 minutes ago? Who was unselfish? Who was more concerned with the Jewish people than himself and his own glory? David HaMelech, the king of Israel. That's what Malchus is. Malchus is the quality of selflessness, the quality of building, taking everything we've had and basically saying, I am now a full vessel, I've received everything, and now I'm doing it all for you. Everything is for you. My husband. My husband is the one who is Kodesh Brichu. It's this melding and blending of that which is the giver in order to be able to be a vessel to receive all. So who are these rabbis banus asu chayil? Who are these women of valor that have accomplished so much, but you're way above them? Those are the women who don't get it. Those are the achieving women who see their career as the reason, as a raison d'etre, the reason they're here. The Torah says no. A woman can be a successful business person. A woman can be an artist, or an attorney, or an accountant, or an architect, but only on the condition that building a house and a home and an edifice where generations will come and where mommy is always available, that's what an Eishes Chayil is. And that is our introduction into what Malchus is. Now, when we look at Malchus, as we have with the other spheres, we learn a great deal. How do we apply it to ourselves? The first thing is to accept upon ourselves that everything we do is for all Malchus Shamayim. That the Malchus is to crown Hashem, so that everywhere we go, everything we do, all of our actions reflect that we are making Hashem the king. We are crowning Hashem. Where do we do that? How do we do that? We do that in the organ which most manifests Malchus. We spoke about different parts of the body as corresponding to the different spheres. We spoke about the right hand and the right arm corresponding to Chesed, the left hand, left arm corresponding to Gevurah, the torso corresponding to Tiferes, the right leg corresponding to Netzach, the left leg corresponding to Hod, and the foundation from which the whole house is built, modesty and procreativity, as corresponding to Yesod. So what corresponds to Malchus? What do you guys think? What else do we have left?
Gone through the wall.
Huh?
Gone through the wall.
No, we haven't. How does one accept upon himself the yoke of Hashem as being the king of all kings, our king? How can we crown Hashem as king if we don't declare Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad? How do we do that? With our mouths. The mouth is called Malchus Peh. The mouth has the power to do incredible things. And the mouth can bring us down to the lowest of the low. When you look at, I've referred to this previously, and it's very tragic. There was a great philosopher who wrote a book, his name was Erich Fromm, wrote a book called Escape from Freedom. And he talks about slavery and freedom. Freedom without being able to crown a king or to be able to have something to live according to is still slavery. The Gemara says that one of the reasons why Yisurin is pain, travail, come upon a person is because they don't use their mouth properly, because they use foul language. It's a tikkun for using Malchus inappropriately by receiving physical pain. That mouth is has the power of healing and has the power of killing. We also know, therefore, that the ultimate expression of Malchus, how does one express their connectivity with Hashem? Through tefillah. When one davens, one is able to crown Hashem as our king. And how shall I put it? The idea that we've talked about of being a vessel, of being a force which receives, implies that any situation where one is in the process of receiving is also Malchus. So therefore, the Beit Knesset is called a home of Malchus. When one drives somewhere and one says Tfilat HaDerech, one is actuating Malchus. When one gives one an opportunity to live in a respectful, holistic, safe way, giving tzedakah, one is actuating Malchus. The whole essence of Malchus is saying that leis le legar me klum. I don't have any strength in any of myself. I don't have any power of myself. Everything is from you, Hashem, and I'm giving everything I can to you to bring balance. Because the minute I try to assert myself, the minute I look at my endowments, my attributes, my skills, I'm immediately cutting myself off from the source that I need to be connected to. So Malchus means serving this world to be a vessel to connect and bring godliness into the world. Our job is to bring godliness into the world, and that's what Ol Malchus Shemayim is all about. Now it's very interesting. As we approach Shavuot, we've climbed from Chesed Shebechesed, and we've gone up, and Monday night we come to the highest of all the Sefirot before we complete the Sefirah on Shavuot, And what is that highest of the Sfirot? Malchut Sheva Malchut. And the Farshim say something amazing. They tell us that what is the quintessential Malchut? How can we best make ourselves vessels to serve Hashem? How can we best do nothing? Because the whole idea of Malchus is to make ourselves, I can't do it myself. Everything I have is for Hashem. Everything is for my husband. How can I best manifest Malchus? What do you think? I'll give you each a guess.
Be a giving person.
Be a giving person is very nice. But you're still looking into yourself and you're saying, oh, I gave tzedakah. It's a very nice thing. So that doesn't work.
What's the question again?
How can we best bring into action Malchut Shema Malchut? What action can we do? Can you do? That seems like an oxymoron. You want to not do anything, but you want to do something. How can you do Malchut Shema Malchut?
By making Hashem's goals your goal.
Very nice. Be more specific. I'll give you a hint. And this will give it away. Morning is the time of Avraham. Afternoon is the time, late afternoon, is the time of Yitzchak. So, when is the time of Malchut?
Shlomo or David?
David Melech. When is the time of Malchus? Night. Night. Lahagid baboker chastecha. We want to articulate Hashem's chesed in the morning, ve'emunascha baleilot. And your whole essence of emunah is at nighttime, because night is a time of darkness. Night is a time of demons, of mazikin. It's a time when one can fall. It's a time when one is tempted most. And without Hashem, we would fall miserably. So as we go into Malchut Sheba Malchut, what we need to know, those of us who are awake needs to know this especially, that Malchut is manifested through sleep. We crown Hashem when we are asleep. How could that be? You're not doing anything. How do you think that is? You say Shema at night, and by doing Shema, what are you doing? You are Makabel, all Malchut Shemayim. Very good. What else do you do at night before you say Shema? You pray Maariv, but I'm talking before you go to bed. As you're preparing for sleep. What else do we do?
The bedtime.
Huh?
It's the bedtime Shema.
Right, but what's contained within the bed? Very good. What's contained within the bedtime Shema? You forgive anyone you've harmed during the course of the day. You're giving yourself a clean slate. You're saying, according to the Arizal, you're saying vidui. All the sins that you've done. Why? Because as we see in Amapil, I may not wake up in the morning. And I want to say vidui, so I die with a clean slate. So now, let's go back 3,300 years. At Matan Torah, the Bnei Yisrael were going through 3 days that we just started right now. The Shlosh Shmei Agbola, the 3 days where we set boundaries for ourselves. We separate the mountains so we don't approach it. We separate our husbands and wives. We separate from each other. We prepare ourselves emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, mentally. And we do everything to prepare for this magical, mystical moment that'll never be repeated again in the history of the world. How do we do it? Well, if I'm Yehuda Frischman, 3,300 years ago, sitting with the camp of Israel, I'm talking to my buddies, what are we going to do? I know. Let's see how This is going to be Hashem talking to us, right? Yeah, okay. Well, how did Nevuah happen before? When all the prophets were spoken to by Hashem, how did he speak to them? Well, Hashem talked to them, they were asleep. There were visions of night, right? Yeah. So you know what? Let's go to sleep. Wait a second. The Bnei Yisrael went to sleep on Shavuot night, and Hashem had to wake them up. Because Hashem was telling to them, you made a mistake, my beloved children. Because the whole essence of Malchut is not trying to figure out what I want. It's doing what I tell you to do. I didn't tell you to go to sleep to get the Torah. I want you to receive the Torah being wide awake, fully alert. This is going to be a prophecy and a revelation like none other in the history of human mankind. It's going to be your eyes open, your ears open, your body completely connected to Hashem, and you're going to hear, I am Hashem who brought you out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. Not asleep. Therefore, your children are going to have to repair. They're going to have to take a medicine to heal what you've done. What is the medicine that they have to do? They have to stay up all night on Shavuot night. Tikkun Leil Shavuot. It's a tikkun for what? For what we did from going to sleep at night. I don't want you to go to sleep at night. I don't want you to be asleep when you're receiving the Torah, because Malchut Shebe Malchut means that I am completely self-nullifying myself. I am a vessel for Hashem to do what Hashem wants me to do. If Hashem wants me to be awake, I'll be awake, and I'm not going to freelance. I'm not going to do what I think is right. And that's the idea of what we talked about. Rabbis Banus Asuchayil, the women, the daughters who are very, very praiseworthy, don't hold a candle to you, my Eshes Chayil, because you do what I need you to do. They do what they want to do. They want to make a name for themselves. All a Jew should want to do is to please Hashem. So Emir Hashem, as we come close to Shavuos, don't ask yourself how nice you can make yourself or how nice you can make your house. Ask yourself how beautiful I can make myself for Hashem, that everything is for Hashem. Hashem is giving us the Torah. Hashem is saying that I want you to crown me as your king. And b'siyata d'shmaya, v'yat alis al kulana. And indeed, you will be far, far higher and far more beautiful in my eyes than anyone else. B'nai B'chor Yisrael. I love you, B'nai Yisrael. And now you're ready to receive the Torah.